Welcome to the WayneBreezie channel, host of the WayneBreezie Show. I'm here to deliver to you great NFL content. You see the team, hit that sub button and tune in. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the WayneBreezie. Welcome to the show. What we're going to do today is we're going to do our weekly 7-round NFL mock draft. That's right. I get the opportunity of playing 32 general managers. Now, before we get to it, make sure you guys hit that like button, man. Hit it, 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 and then hit it again. However many times it takes you to like it. If you're new to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. Click on that subscribe button. All right, make sure you guys go ahead and do that as well. And you can become a member of the Breezie Bunch crew if you want to support the channel here. Be my guest. We are on version 4 of our show. For exclusive content, go to www.patreon.com and you can get that exclusive content where I do film breakdowns. Also, you can get all my Excel sheets, Google Sheets, and things like that of the data that I'm going to be putting out there weekly. So make sure you go ahead and take advantage of that over on the Patreon, and go ahead and check out our partners over at Residency. You can go to www.residency.com, use the promo code SFBreezie, and you can save on your total purchase. You heard? All right, man, let's go ahead and get to it. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to do all 32 NFL teams, and I'm going to be looking to do some trades, right? I'm going to be looking to trades. I think with the stuff that's going on, the San Francisco 49ers may try to trade up after the Senior Bowl. Look, there's a bunch of players that are going to be available. We're going to go team need, so that's what we'll do. With the Titans on the clock, see, the Titans make this draft very, very interesting. I understand that they need a quarterback. The first 3 teams need quarterbacks. The question is, are they going to go quarterback? That's going to be the question. So with the Tennessee Titans on the clock, I really feel like they should go quarterback and change this up a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if they go best freaking player available. Best player available for the Tennessee Titans. So let's go ahead and start the draft. Best player available is Travis Hunter. They do need cornerback. They need edge rushing. Man, let's change this up a little bit, right? So let's go. Dang, it's tough, right? It's real tough. Where should they go? Should they go quarterback? Should they not go quarterback? If you're a Titans fan, where do you guys want to go in this draft? I'm just curious to know how the Titan fans feel out there. And for some reason, they won't even let me select quarterbacks. All right, there it is. All right, so quarterbacks, that's a possibility, you know. Definitely like I think some of the quarterbacks draft stock went up after the Senior Bowl, like Dylan Gabriel. I can see him getting drafted. Riley Leonard as well. Jackson Dart. All of those guys were Senior Bowl quarterbacks, but not first round guys, in my opinion. Not first round guys, in my opinion. Let's go best player available. They're going to get Travis Hunter. I'm going to go ahead and give them Travis Hunter. Now, there's going to be teams that's trying to move up to get quarterbacks, and it's possible that the Titans, may trade back. You know what I mean? They may trade back. Cleveland Browns are on the clock. Corner here, quarterback here. I think their situation with the quarterback is a lot worse than most. I think this is a team that's going to possibly trade out of this pick. All right, there's a possibility that they may trade out of this pick. What other teams need quarterbacks? That's going to be the question. The Giants need a quarterback. The Jets need a quarterback. The Raiders need a quarterback. What if the Raiders, I wonder if the Raiders would move up, if they would swap the 2 picks, right? All right, but the Raiders would have to give up maybe pick everything that they give up to swap. Wow. Interesting, right? So the Raiders want to move up. The Browns are willing to trade back. The Raiders got to give up a lot. The swap works. It says it's lopsided, not forcing any trades here. but it looks like they can get it done. They can give up, you know, let's see if the Raiders can get something back. So they'll give up a seventh or whatever to move up. Let's do it. Let's trade. Let's see if it works. All right, they accepted the trade. Let me know what you guys think about the trade. The Raiders are on the clock. They're going to get the quarterback, Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's going to get a guy. I like this. Pete Carroll, head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders. All right. And let's see, with him being on the clock, where does Pete Carroll most likely go? I think you get him a quarterback. They could sign a quarterback in free agency. That is a possibility. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but it's definitely a freaking possibility. It is what it is. All right, so let's draft a player. They moved up to get a quarterback. I think the Raiders are going to jump up, and the Raiders are, let's see, get the quarterbacks available. I think the Raiders are going to get, do they go Sanders? You know what? They're going to go Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward's the best quarterback in this draft. The Raiders move up. They get him. So you got Travis Hunter off the board. You got the trade. This leaves the Giants open. The Giants need a quarterback. It's been Sanders all day long. I think the Giants go ahead and they get Shedeur Sanders right there. And I think that's the last quarterback that will be traded that will be drafted in the first round. There may be some guys that move up. There may not be some guys that move up, but the New York Football Giants select Shedeur Sanders. It's pretty much who I've been mocking to them all mock season long. So let me know what you guys think about that. Giants, you guys a quarterback, and now you can start building the infrastructure around him for sure. Maybe draft another wide receiver, maybe draft some offensive linemen, blah, 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 blah. All right. With the Patriots on the clock, Mike Vrabel, head coach of the Patriots, everything is screaming defense here, but they need a wide receiver. They need offensive line. And why do I feel like they're going to go offensive line? Or they can go wide receiver. Like they really can. They really can. And I'm going to give them wide receiver. I think they're going to get T-Mac. T-Mac's going to go here. I think it's going to be the best position, in my opinion, for T-Mac, wide receiver out of Arizona. I hope Patriot fans aren't mad, but you got Drake May. You got pretty much a decent run game with Ramondre Stevenson. I think you guys just need a bona fide weapon out there, and T-Mac's going to be the pick out of Arizona. All right, let's keep it moving. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars on the clock. They need offensive linemen. They need corners. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jaguars go Will Johnson here. Right, the Jaguars go Will Johnson. First cornerback I think that will be taken off the board is going to be Will Johnson out of Michigan. All right, this kid, really good on the outside, knows how to play the field, can aid and embed that quarterback, throw that ball, and he'll take it to the house. He has the opportunity to take it to the house. Plus, I love the way he covers, especially in man coverage. He plays zone very well. I think he's the best overall cornerback in the draft, next to, obviously, Travis Hunter. But I think he'll be the second DB off the board right here to the Jacksonville Jaguars, even though Mason Graham should be the guy there. I think they get Mason Graham. Yeah. I think they're going to go Mason Graham. I'm going to give the Jaguars Mason Graham. Mason Graham's going to be the first defensive interior tackle off the board. Jaguars get Mason Graham. All right. Look, again, the Cleveland Browns are on the clock. They could be kind of like trying to stock some draft picks. You got Abdul Carter here. You got some stuff here. You know what I'm going to try to do? Let's see if I can make a trade back. Teams that are interested, blah, 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 blah. Let's see if we could trade with the 49ers. All right. Niners want this player. All right. They want this player. They do. The Niners want Myles Garrett. So what will the Niners have to give up to get Myles Garrett? Let's see if I can give up something next year. So I can give up a first round pick next year. And this is working. Like this says trade will most likely be accepted. And I want to know if we could swap picks. Nah, they're not swapping picks. So just the 2021, and let's see if I can get something back in return, which I can. Let's see how high I can get something back. Looks like I can get back. Only thing I can't get back is their first round pick, but it looks like I can get back this year for a first round pick next year, 33, 67, 94. When does it start to go down? It doesn't. I feel like this me getting all that back and Myles Garrett doesn't even sound like it makes sense, right? But they're not giving up that 6th pick, all right? So I'm going to try this trade. 49ers will give up a first-round pick in 2026 for Myles Garrett. That's all it's going to cost them right now at this point. Cleveland Browns will still be on the clock. The Niners will still have their picks, and they get an extra pick in the draft. We're only doing one round, so boom. All right, so the Niners get Myles Garrett. The Cleveland Browns still remain at pick 6, and they didn't really get anything in return. I think the Cleveland Browns, all the quarterbacks are gone. They're probably going to go Will Johnson here at 6. So Cleveland Browns will draft Will Johnson at 6. All right, now this is where it gets down to the nitty gritty because you got a bunch of teams up here. They want defensive players. The Jets are on the clock. Looks like they need a cornerback. It says their needs cornerback, quarterback, DB, safety, corner, and interior. All right, and interior. So they're looking for an inside guy opposed to an outside guy, an edge rusher. And I feel like those inside guys are gone. So the Jets may trade back to as well. Yes, Abdul Carter is still on the board. People are probably going to be pissed off about that. But as far as the interior guys, Walter Nolan is there. Is there another team that's willing to move up with the Jets to get Walter Nolan? I mean, to move up to get a piece. And Abdul Carter, somebody wants Abdul Carter. Somebody is willing to spend. Who needs an edge? I see the Colts need an edge. The Cowboys need an edge. The Falcons need an edge. The Seahawks, the Bucks, they need an edge. All right, let's do this. Let's have some fun with this. Let's see if we can trade back. Who's willing to trade? So the Saints want to move up. I like this. They give you kind of like the potential trade. So the Saints, the Bears, the Cowboys, the Colts, all the teams that I feel like need edges, right? Let's say the Saints want to move up. What would they have to spend to move up to get the edge rusher with the Jets? They're only moving up 2 spots. So what will it cost the Saints to get that? All right. So the Saints are going to have to give up to move to get to 7. Looks like they'll have to give up. Let's see. Boom. Trade is lopsided. Trade will likely be accepted. 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 So the Jets sounds like the Jets want the higher picks. So boom. It's an 88% chance here for the Jets to get this. 9-71. This is what the Jets want. The Jets want the higher picks. They don't want the lower picks. Let's just give it a try and see what happens. Oh, we got another trade going down. All right, here we go. So now that the Saints are on the clock, they're going to draft Abdul Carter right in front of who? The Panthers, because that's exactly where, he's been projected to go. I think the Panthers stay pat, and they, too, get a defensive lineman, but they get James Pierce Jr. Oh, do they go Mike Green? Oh. Either way, the Niners may have to move up if they want an edge rusher, but they don't need it because they traded for Myles Garrett. So the Niners in edge rushing is off the table at this point. Off the table. I think the Niners are going to end up getting an offensive lineman. I think they're going to get the offensive lineman. They think they're going to get Will Campbell. We'll see how that pans out. I think the Panthers go Mike Green right here. And now the Jets are on the clock. The Jets can go interior. I think they're going to get Walter Nolan. I think, dang, can you imagine having Walter Nolan and Quinnen Williams in the middle? I just want to see what cornerbacks are available. Ooh, love the Benjamin Moore. Can you imagine Benjamin Morrison? Oof. Benjamin Morrison with him. But I think the Jets are going to go safety here. Malachi Starks is staring me right in the face. So the Jets are going to get Malachi Starks, safety out of Georgia. The Bears are on the clock. They're going to get James Pierce. And see, now we're just moving along. The draft is in. The draft is in. The draft is in. 49ers are on the clock. And yeah, their tackle is available. They also need defensive interior. In my opinion, they got what you call it. Can they trade back to get more picks? I believe so. But I think the Niners, since they already traded for Myles Garrett, I think in the first round, they're going to go interior defensive tackle. I really just don't see any of the offensive guys, the offensive tackles, being day one contributors for the San Francisco 49ers. I do like the Tyler Warren pick at the tight end. Niners can switch up their personnel and be dominant in that personnel. But I think the San Francisco 49ers with pick 11, they're going to go, in my opinion, defensive line. And so let's go get my man Walter Nolan out of Mississippi. Really like this guy. All right, Dallas Cowboys are on the clock, and I've been, I wouldn't be surprised if they go after a wide receiver here. I see Luther Burden. I can't even imagine what Luther Burden the third and CeeDee Lamb do to teams. And it's all about having the personnel, man. 3 wide receiver sets, boom, 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 stick them out there, you good to go. They do need offensive linemen. Can Dallas be boring and go with the offensive line? Do they try to protect Dak Prescott? I see Will Campbell there. I think that's where they're going to end up going. Let's go offensive line, tackle Will Campbell, left tackle out of LSU. Miami Dolphins are on the clock, and they drafted him. They sniped him right from the Dolphins. I know the Dolphins were going to go there. We're going to go best player available for the Dolphins. They need a guard. They need a tackle. They need interior. They need all these pieces, right? That's what they need. So let's give them safety's gone. Malachi Starks is going. That would have been a good pick for them. Defensive guy we went with. I can see the Dolphins kind of like moving back if they don't like some of the people that positions that are falling on the board. But I think they take Kelvin Banks Jr. out of Texas. That's going to be their pick. Solid pick for them as well. Left tackle. Colts on the clock, man. I've been mocking Tyler Warren to the Colts for the longest. I just feel like that's the key piece that they're missing. The Colts were always good when they had a short, bona fide tight end. I think Tyler Warren is going to be the pick for the Indianapolis Colts. All right, this leaves the Atlanta Falcons. They need receivers, edge, linebacker, and corner. They need DBs. They got a lot of free agents. I like Benjamin Morrison there. I don't know if people are going to like that. Mykel Williams, though, just feels like the pick. So I'm going to go Mykel Williams, edge, out of Georgia to the Falcons. Arizona Cardinals are on the clock. Guard, tackle, defensive line. That's what they need. Josh Simmons looked like he would fit there. They drafted Parrish. What was this? Parrish Smith. Can't remember his last name. Parrish. The offensive lineman from Ohio State. He would be a perfect piece for these guys. I think they go tackle here as well. Looking at the defense, they could go with Big Kenny Grant up in the middle. Really try to stop the run, plug the run. That'd be a good solid pick too. But I think they address the offensive line. They go Josh Simmons out of Ohio State. Upside is he gives me Trent Williams vibes. I'll leave it at that. Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock, and I think this is where the receiving game could come in. I don't know if T. Higgins will be back. So how do you replace T. Higgins? Will you draft another wide receiver, even though they need defensive line help? I think they go Luther Burden the third right there. Solid pick. And for everybody out there that's worried, like, why is Aston Gentry still on the board? Man, running backs are going to fall, man. I really feel like if he is the running back that gets drafted in this draft in the first round, kudos to him. I just think that the way this draft is built, defense, I just think running backs get pushed. So there's going to be a lot of running backs, talented running backs later, rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So day 2, day 3 guys that you can get bang for your buck. Offensive linemen, and that is the help. That is what the Seattle Seahawks need, in my opinion. I think they need offensive line. But there's something about them being fierce defensively. Bob McDonald, their coach, he's a defensive guy by trade. He likes those big, long, slinky defensive backs, but he also likes his powerful edge rushers. Shamar Stewart might be just the most powerful edge rusher in the draft out of Texas A&M. I'm going Shamar Stewart to the Seattle Seahawks. Let me know how y'all think about that pick, Seahawks. That's a solid pick, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. All right, man, you got the Tampa Bay Bucks. Tampa Bay Bucks on the clock. Tampa Bay Bucks on the clock. Let's see. Let's see who else is available. Tampa Bay, edge rusher, linebacker, DB. Why is Benjamin Morrison just screaming Tampa Bay Buccaneer right there, man? That he's just screaming that for me, in my opinion. I like that particular spot for him. Let's go big guy, Benjamin Morrison. I know he's coming off of an injury season, but I think he's one of the best cornerbacks in the draft. Tampa Bay Bucks get them a guy. Denver Broncos are on the clock, and you know it'll be epitome. They need a tight end, they need a linebacker, they need defense. They don't really need the defensive pieces. Wide receivers, you got to get them some more weapons. Emeka Egbuka is standing right here in front of my face. Matthew Golden out of Texas as well will be another key piece. Gray Zabel is a key piece too in the offensive line. Definitely like what I'm seeing right here. I'm paying attention to teams that need players. I think, you know, there's going to be some positions that are available that I think the Niners may try to move back into the first round. All right, let's go ahead and give Emeka Egbuka. He's going to be the next wide receiver for the Denver Broncos. Pittsburgh Steelers, they snatched him right from the Pittsburgh Steelers because I believe that's who the Pittsburgh Steelers had their eye on. They're going to need a quarterback as well. Is there going to be another team that feels like they're going to reach and draft a quarterback? I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to select quarterbacks. Dylan Gabriel, even though he's one of the smallest guys here, I know it's a reach. I think they're going to go ahead and draft a guy. Don't know if it's going to be in the first round, so I'm not going to do them dirty. Let's stick with the power players. Wide receiver, best wide receiver available, Matthew Golden. Like him. Best cornerback available, Jahdae Barron. So either way, you're going to get a guy from Texas like Jahdae Barron, can play the nickel, can play outside. Either way, it'll be a slot, but I think they're going to get some extra help at the wide receiving spot. Let's give him Texas wide receiver Matthew Golden. Los Angeles Chargers are on the clock, and I think they may need that running back. I think Jim Harbaugh likes to run the ball, and this may be where he ends up. Can they get edge rushing for sure? Do they need it? Not at the moment. Don't think they need to expend on the edge rusher. Tight end would have been a nice, solid pickup. Could that be Colston Loveland? I think they go in and get their guy. Listen, Jim Harbaugh knows about his players. And the one thing I know about Jim Harbaugh, he's going to get his guys. Colston Loveland's going to sneak into the first round and be the second tight end off the draft board. Reunited, and it feels so good from Michigan to the Chargers. Go ahead, Jim Harbaugh. Green Bay Packers on the clock. All right, we got wide receivers, center, edge, corner. Those are the needs. Those are their needs. Center, edge, corner. Jack Sawyer's pretty decent edge rusher out there, but why does Nick Scourton just feel like he'll be the perfect fit on that defense, on the edge? Definitely give the defensive line some help, some pass rushing abilities and things like that. So let's go ahead with Nick Scourton. All right, Nick Scourton to the Green Bay Packers. Let's go ahead and get it, baby. Minnesota Vikings. Aaron Jones is a free agent. This may be the team that they don't need much help on the offensive line. I can see Ashton Jeanty replacing Aaron Jones. This may be the perfect spot for Ashton Jeanty. They don't have a running back, so both of their running backs are free agents. I know Jeanty, top 5 player, fell way down into this draft, but why does this seem like the perfect fit for the Minnesota Vikings? All right. Wide receivers for the Houston Texans. I mean, they're guys, they continue to get hurt. I can see them drafting an extra wide receiver. They need offensive line help, but I'm sorry. They're going to address the defensive front. They're going to have the meanest defensive front if they get a guy like Kenneth Grant out of Michigan. I'm telling you right now, that defensive front is going to be too freaking legit, to quit. All right, the Los Angeles Rams are on the clock, and they need to get some protection on the offensive line. Armand Membu is there from Missouri. Perfect fit for them. Baltimore Ravens on the clock. Baltimore Ravens definitely need another wide receiver. And when I'm looking at the wide receiver, seeing who's available, anybody worth drafting in the first round, like Xavier Restrepo, but I feel like they have that type of player in Zay Flowers, Jaden Higgins. You can get him in the second round. If anybody sneaks up, it's going to be Jack Besh, in my opinion. Let's look at the other positions. Gray Zabel, I know he's labeled as a tackle, but he's going to play freaking guard in the NFL, in my opinion. So we'll stay away from Gray Zabel. I don't think he'll be a good fit there in Baltimore. Let's see. The Detroit Lions. This is where it gets interesting. Edge. Ooh. Oh, I know he's not projected to go in the first round. But you know what? I like Jahdae Barron. I think that'll be a solid pick. They're a defensive team. They'll go defense first. Jahdae Barron out of Texas to the Baltimore Ravens. All right. Now, you got 5 teams left on the clock. I can see the 49ers trying to trade back in to the round. So if you're a 49er fan, you're watching this show, I can see the Niners trying to move back in at pick 30. All right. So let's see. Center, guard, edge, linebacker. So I'm looking at the best players available. If the Niners move back in, they need to get in. They needed to have traded back in right now to get that particular player. But I think the Niners have their eyes set on a couple of players in the first round that they can get. And so I think Gray Zabel is going to get drafted by the Detroit Lions. So Detroit Lions going to get them a stud on the offensive line just to continue to build that offensive front, right? That's what they're going to continue to do. I think that'll be the perfect spot for him. All right, Jack Sawyer, Josh Connerly, a bunch of guys, man. But I think they go edge here. They got to continue to figure out that defense. I know Bobby Wagner's going to be a free agent. Jeremy Chin is a free agent. So there's a lot of guys that they got to look to replace. Could they go Siobhan Revel out of East Carolina? Trey Amos sounds like the pick. I don't know, but they did trade for Marshawn Lattimore last year, so I don't know if they need to go with a cornerback right away. So this is interesting. I'm not going to have the Niners trade back up into the first round. I'm going to let it slide and let it go right the way that it is. But I think that I think that the Washington Commanders is going to go with a cornerback here. And I think that cornerback is going to be Trey Amos out of Mississippi. I think he'll be a good fit. Good fit. Marshawn didn't really play much last year, but we'll see what happens. Buffalo Bills, I feel like that Amos was sniped. They sniped the Buffalo Bills. If the Buffalo Bills decided to go with a corner, I feel like they just need to give. Is it me or does he need to get a few more weapons? I feel like he needs a few more weapons. You can call me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but I really think Josh Allen needs another weapon, another wide receiver. But I think that they try to rebuild defensively. One of my favorite linebackers in this draft is Demetrius Knight Jr. That would be a solid pick. But I think they go interior here with Tyleik Williams from the Ohio State. They get a big guy up front, continue to take away the run, and they prevent him from going to a team like the Philadelphia Eagles, which is where I had them going, which is where I had Tyleik Williams going for sure. Eagles need a cornerback, and so I think, do they need a cornerback? Yeah, they're going to need a cornerback. Darius Slay looks like he's going to be walking away from the game. They can go edge here. Donovan Ezeraku it sounds like the perfect player to play for to play for them. I think he would fit very well. I'm going to move him into the first round. I didn't have this many edge rushers going in the first round, but when I see who's available, I like it. I like it a lot. Now, Eagles fans, you are going to be happy. You get a guy like this. He's a freak of nature. Speed power ratio combo is off the charts. I'm going to move him back into the first round. Donovan Ezeraku had a great Senior Bowl week. Man, the Eagles defense just keep getting tough and tough and tough. Now, linebackers worthy to go in round one. Not too many. Not too many. I don't have Demetrius Knight as a first round linebacker. I like him a lot. I think I have Jahad Campbell a little bit ahead of Demetrius Knight. So if the Kansas City Chiefs wanted to go a linebacker, I think they would go with him. But I think that they address that offensive line or defensive line, one or the other. But I think it's going to be Josh Connerly. He's a first-round tackle. I think he's going to be the guy that's going to go to the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's going to be the first-round mock draft 4.0. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section of the show. Let's take a quick look at our grade. It says select T. Oops. That play isn't our playbook just yet. Don't know what the hell that means, but it's all good. But as you can see, this is what we got right here. Just to do a recap: Travis Hunter, Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, first three off the board. First five: T-Mac, Mason Graham. Will Johnson went to the Browns. Browns traded back. They ended up getting an extra pick in the draft, which I felt like I did them dirty. I think I did the Cleveland Browns dirty. Browns, dog pound. If you're mad at me, I understand. I'll do you better next time. I'll get you more. You deserved more. I'll get you more. All right, you deserved more in that trade. But they traded back, and they should have got a little bit more in that. Abdul Carter went to the Saints. Mike Green to the Panthers. Malachi Starks to the Jets. James Pierce to the Bears. Walter Nolan to the Niners. Will Campbell to the Cowboys. Banks Jr. to the Dolphins. Tyler Warren to the Colts. Michael Williams to the Falcons. Josh Simmons to the Cardinals. Luther Burden III to the Bengals. Shamar Stewart to the Seahawks. Benjamin Morrison to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Emeka Egbuka to the Broncos. Matthew Golden to the Steelers. Loveland to the Chargers, right? Can you imagine Loveland, like probably one of the best route running tight ends in this draft, along with their wide receiver that's probably one of the best wide receivers that's going to be, oh my gosh, it's going to be a crazy offense to watch. Nick Scorton to the Packers. Ashton Genty went to the Vikings. Kenneth Grant went to the Texans. Armand Membow went to the Rams. Jahdae Barron to the Ravens. Gray Zabel to the Lions. Trey Amos to the Commanders. Tyleek Williams to the Bills. Donovan Ezeraku to the Eagles. And Josh Connerly to the Kansas City Chiefs. Let me know what you guys think about the draft. I think this is a solid mock draft in my opinion. Every team just got better. Niners got them a guy. So what happened is, if you're watching this, the Niners, we were able to trade. We traded a first-round pick, 2026 first-round pick, for their guy, Myles Garrett. He's now going to be a 49er. So essentially, the Niners got 2 first-round picks in this draft. They got Myles Garrett, and they got Walter Nolan. That's a win-win in my book. Guys, it's been real. Till the next time, man. I'll see you. Peace. Thank you all for your support here on the WayneBreezie channel. If you're new, make sure you click on that subscribe button. Don't forget to smash the like button and check out the other videos. Thanks for watching.